Made some fantastic news this week about Daniel Wells. That was a little unexpected, but fantastic news.
Yeah, it is great news. It's really exciting for the club and really exciting for Wells. He's clearly a very important player to us, and our priority's been his long-term health, and we were rapt that the specialist gave him the all clear sooner than expected. And we've still got to get through this training session, but we've named him in our squad, and we hope he'll get out and play against the Dogs in Ballarat this week.
Heading up to North Ballarat, there's grand plans for what North Melbourne might do up there. Are you looking forward to getting up there and putting on a show for the locals?
Yeah, it's critical, really is critical for a lot of people to turn up in Ballarat and for the people of Ballarat to show just how much they want AFL footy to be a permanent fixture in their city. And North Melbourne's right behind the people of Ballarat, and we hope they get behind us. And the only way we're going to build the momentum to eventually get a stadium up there to play up in Ballarat for premiership points is if we have the support of the people. So I think we had 11,000 or so people bought tickets for the Wangaratta game, even though it didn't go ahead. So we hope that we can get a similar, if not bigger, crowd in Ballarat. And one thing I can guarantee people is that we're driving up there, so I'm pretty sure the Bulldogs guys are doing the same. So unless they close off a road, the game will be going ahead. So get out there and support the game.
From a football perspective, how disappointing was it that things didn't go to plan with the election? Is there a football element to it from your perspective that was disappointing?
Oh no, I think it's a club issue as a whole. I mean, the football department are right behind James Brayshaw and Eugene Arocka in their push to play games up there. So it's a whole club approach. So it was, I think it was just disappointing for the people of Ballarat. But we're still, there's a major push to play games up there for premiership points. So we're right behind it, but we need the support of the people, and we need people to vote with their feet and get out and watch the game this week.
Speaking about James Brayshaw, a bit of upheaval earlier this week as well. No teddy bear tendencies in James at all?
Oh, well, look, I mean, he probably didn't enjoy it. I don't think anyone enjoys being ridiculed, but, I think that people are looking for a point of difference and papers are looking for a point of difference. I had a little bit of a chuckle to myself, and he's copped a good ribbing from a number of people, so from within the club and outside the club. So, look, as long as it's all good-natured. But, I suppose the issue from our point of view was that it glossed over what is an extremely important topic, and that is problem gambling. So it's something that we as a club are going to take a really strong stand against. And I can honestly say, as coach of North Melbourne, the thing that concerns me most about young AFL football is problem gambling. I put it well ahead of drug abuse or alcohol abuse. The AFL have been leaders in world sport in creating an illicit drugs policy, and they've been outstanding in getting on the front foot there. Players are educated really well as to the responsible use of alcohol, and I think problem gambling is the number one issue for me as coach with young players. So it's a really important issue, and I think the club should be commended for taking this stand and standing up against problem gambling.
Because you're not taking that money from the gambling industry, I guess, does that mean you have to forego anything in the footy department or anything like that? Like, are you spending as much as you want to?
Oh, I think you could always spend more, but what I would say by taking this stand is that we're creating a point of difference. And I'm sure that there are organisations out there that would like to align themselves with what we're doing. So I think, if anything, this is going to create more opportunity for us. We certainly are foregoing revenue from Pokey's income, but we think we'll more than make up from that from organisations who want to get on board, align themselves with what we're doing and sponsor us.
Have you got concerns about some of your own players and their gambling habits?
I've got concerns about all AFL players. I mean, you speak to the experts, and I'm far from an expert in the field, but if you do go and talk to the experts about problem gambling, our players are right in that mix. They're young, they're impressionable, they've got disposable income, and they've got time. So they fit right into that category that we should be concerned about. So, again, I think North Melbourne should be commended for the stance they're taking.
Do you think the AFL should do something on a more broad scale? You've done it from a club basis. Should the AFL do more?
Well, I think they do quite a bit in terms of education. I mean, we're working very closely with the AFL through Sue Clark and Tristan Salter. We've got they're on board as cultural ambassadors for us this year and really working with us in a pilot program. So they do terrific work in terms of educating the players as to gambling, and players know that gambling on football is obviously absolutely illegal, but I think the issue itself is one the AFL is working hard on, but we can always do it better. And that's what North Melbourne's investigating this year in the pilot program with the AFL.
Do you reckon the message has gotten through to players with block? what's happened in the last few months, that the AFL's made it clear the next time they're going to get hit even harder.
Yeah, and so they should. I think the AFL rammed that message home very strongly. Sue Clark and Tristan Salter did an outstanding job in presenting to our players. Our players are very, very clear, and it's not only gambling themselves, it's giving information that might lead others to use that information and gamble on football. So our players have been really well educated on that. But I think that the issue of problem gambling as a whole is an issue for society, and AFL is not immune to that.
It's a nice stand to take, Brad, but is it sustainable? I mean, you yourself have had to pour money into the club. Can you afford to not have that money?
I think the important thing is that the last 4 years we've increased our revenue, and we haven't had a cent of revenue from pokies or gambling in that time. So, we're looking at growing our revenue in other ways. We're never going to compete with the big clubs in terms of, if it becomes a battle of who owns the most pokies venues, then we're not going to win that battle. So, we think it's not only the morally correct thing to do, but it also gives us a point of difference as a club to other football clubs in the competition.
Can we ask you about Majak Dora and where he's at in his progression? Yeah,
he's doing a terrific job. He's working pretty long hours, and he's working really hard in the rehabilitation of his knee. The sports science and medical guys are wrapped with his progression back from injury, and he's most importantly, he's being really open and honest with all his dealings with me and with the club. So again, Tristan Salter and Sue Clark from the AFL are heavily involved in that process, and we're following a program to get him back into the club as soon as possible. But I can't speak highly enough of his attitude so far.
So he has been back and forth, has he? He's been back from time to time. We heard he came back for the team photo and a few
Oh yeah, look, he's doing all his rehab at North Melbourne. I mean, we've got the experts in their field here at North, so he's doing all that. He's not banned from the football club. He's just doing his football training with wherever but all his rehabilitation's here at North.
Has he been forgiven, for want of a different word, by yourself and the playing group? Is he back in the fold in that regard, or has he still got a point to prove?
Oh look, he's never an issue of forgiveness with me. I mean, I'll support every single player on our list regardless of what they've done. So he's always had my full support. And in terms of the players, he's got to show through his training actions that he can earn their respect and their trust. So and that's an issue for anyone in footy. You want to earn the respect of your peers, and Majak's working really hard to get that.
So back to Daniel Wilson, I was just going to say, you said you had to get through training today, and you will play this weekend. And is that enough footy that you can get into him to be ready for round one, do you think?
Yeah, well, I think that's a bit of an unknown question. We think that that if anyone can do it, it's Wellesley. But look, the important thing is he's been doing everything that's been asked of him in training, and if anything, he's done more than all the other players in terms of total training volume. It's just been the contact progression. So that's picked up in the last couple of weeks, and I'm pretty confident that he'll play this week, and so is he. And if he gets a game and a half in before round one, I think he'd be right to go.
Other than Daniel, what other sort of changes are you making for the Ballarat game?
Yeah, we'll rest Drew Petrie just in terms of an overall management thing. Lockie Hanson will also have a rest. Scott McMahon will have a rest, and we'll really significantly manage the game time of Swallow, Harvey, and those types of players as well.
So I know you've talked about this before, but your injury situation is clearly light years removed from 12 months ago.
It's fantastic, and it enables us to do that. I mean, we still haven't taken our eye off the fact that we're looking to work out what our best 22 to 28 players are. We don't know that. Some other clubs have got a better handle on that than we do. So we've still got to play these games with an eye to working out what our best team is. But in saying that, we'll give other players opportunity. Liam Anthony will come back into the side this week. Cruz Garland will come in. Sam Wright will come in. So, some players will get a really good opportunity to push for round one selection.
Brad, was it that injury list that really contributed to that really slow start last year, and that sort of inconsistency in that?
I think it was a multitude of factors. It certainly didn't help. Going to Perth twice in the first month didn't help either, and playing the reigning Premier off a 6-day break didn't help. But, we've always said that, to be the best, you've got to beat the best. So, we saw that last year as an opportunity to go to Perth, win 2 games and beat the reigning Premier. Would have been a fantastic start. It wasn't the case, but we're certainly healthier this year, and we're better placed to have a good start to the year.
Brad, am I right, 2 rookie spots I think available for round one? Aaron Mullett and probably Sam Gibson leading the race for that celebration?
Yeah, they are. We've got one nominated rookie spot that we've got to make a decision on in the next couple of weeks, but young Tom Curran still on the comeback trial from a foot injury, so we've got another rookie spot that is available for round one. And Aaron Mullett and Sam Gibson will both play again this weekend. So yeah, you're right. They're both pushing and they're both in the frame for round 1, to be honest. So they've got their opportunity, and we're looking for them to take it.
Brad, just quickly, are you proud to be a leader in terms of like the anti-gambling message?
Well, as a football club, I am, yeah.
And you're a spokesman for it as well, really.
Oh, I'm a spokesman, but you know, full credit should go to James Brayshaw and Eugene Rocca. They're the leaders of the football club and the commercial decisions that we make, and I fully support the decisions they make. And you know, I think it's a great example that a football club can make, because you know, people do look up to football clubs and sporting organisations as a whole. So yeah, I'm extremely proud.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, guys.